Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a Jund Reanimator deck in Standard. The list is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan of the deck, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. I've played a lot of different versions of this deck on the channel previously, so you can go look for those. But the basic idea is we have Cruelty of Gix, which is a saga with read ahead, and that means you can trigger any of these abilities right away, or you can go in order. And you can, for 5 mana, go directly to the third one, which is put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And we also have Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which has the stage 2 of you may discard up to 2 cards if you do draw that many cards. And we also have Bloodtithe Harvester that creates blood tokens where we can discard a card from our hand to draw a card. Now, ideally, when we go to cast our Cruelty of Gix on turn 5, we have a Titan of Industry in the graveyard, and we can reanimate it, and this card can cause so much havoc and is so powerful. There are a lot of decks with a lot of enchantments and artifacts going around that you can destroy. Having a 7/7 reach trampler with, a shield counter on it is really, really hard for some decks to interact with in a very favorable way. So it's just a really, really powerful thing to do. Now, outside of doing that on turn 5, we have Liliana as interaction. We have Soul of Windgrace, which can provide a lot of card advantage over time. But what makes this version a little unique and different from other versions is we have Llanowar Loamspeaker, which is a 1/3 creature that can tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, but can also make a land you control a 3/3. So this does two things. First, the mana producing ability can let us Cruelty of Gix a little earlier, but it also can just... This deck can be a little tight on mana sometimes, and having just that mana ramp and more options to do stuff is really, really important and powerful. You get to play around with Soul of Windgrace's activated abilities a little more, and you can also Titan of Industry on turn 6 if you really, really want to. And, if you don't want to reanimate with Cruelty of Gix, casting it is, an okay second choice. So this is kind of the main difference in previous versions, and we will see how this goes. So, let's play some games. Okay, we can keep this hand. We get to have red mana on turn 1 with the Riveteers Outlook. And then on turn 2, we can choose either Bloodtithe Harvester or Llanowar Loamspeaker. I don't know what I want to do yet. The Thalia kind of makes me want to Bloodtithe Harvester. War Veteran. Ouch. I kind of guess I'll just do this and then Liliana kill something here. Now, we have the Cruelty of Gix without really anything else. We would love a Titan of Industry.
Sorry, I'm not interested in dying today.
Or something, because this is a little not great. I don't know what our opponent has, but I just want to Infernal Grasp and get rid of whatever they could have. Alright. Well, there is a Titan of Industry. But I'm going to Cruelty of Gix here. What? This was a card I was not expecting, so... Ouch. We're going to take 5 damage, go to 7. Then our opponent's going to have an active wedding announcement. This is not good for me. So I think what I want to do is probably we can get Burn Down the House. Hopefully we can kill the Cemetery Protector, because Valiant Veteran can't be activated yet. Alright. Does our opponent have another Cemetery Protector here? Because that would be awful. Alright, thank you. The Sun Gold Sentinel and Cemetery Protector exiling creatures from our graveyard is not the best. Ooh, our opponent exiled a card from their graveyard. I don't think that should have happened, but we will be very, very happy and thankful about that. Oh, we can do any graveyard. Alright, that makes sense. I still think we want this. Oh, I guess our opponent didn't want that. Alright, I lied. I lied. Everyone. It's okay, I can lie sometimes and be wrong.
Happy to help, but
I knew that target from any graveyard too.
One of your
I promise.
to leave.
But now I think we are, even though we're at 4 life, we're in a really, really, really good spot. And things would have to go really terribly for us
Nothing more.
to lose. Which it can. Like, I'm gonna activate this. And we will get our Titan. Which I honestly don't know. I think I want to get rid of the wedding announcement. Or do I want to gain 5 life? Do you know what? Probably want to gain 5 life and make a 4/4. I guess the 5 life is a little more important than the +1/+1. Probably going to save us more damage for a little bit. And now we get to do this, right? And kill the wedding festivity. And this is going to really cement our lead. It was really close. Let's destroy and create a 4. Let's see what our opponent has here. Our opponent does not have a soldier. Oh, close. GG. Alright. We don't have a turn 2 Bloodtithe Harvester, which is a little... But we'll be fine, I think. We'll be fine. Having the cut down available, though, really helps with a lot of our potentially bad matchups, because one of the ways we lose is if our opponent is an aggro deck. And being able to cut down a 1 or 2 drop is really, really important. And this hand is still kind of shaping up fairly well. Don't love that, but we get to loot away a Titan of Industry. Hopefully we can get a land. Ouch. So what I'm going to do is actually cut down the goblin and do that instead of just Fable. And I want to do that because if we Fable, our opponent's still going to be able to get a treasure and just do a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously. But I think putting the Loamspeaker out and getting rid of their 2/2 sets us up for a better turn down the line. Maybe. That's a little upsetting, though. So I'm gonna Fable. And then I'm gonna leave the cut down up because I could cut down the Harvester, but that doesn't really do much. The Harvester can kill the Goblin Shaman, and that will be unfortunate, but not the end of the world. But we really need to kill the Kiki-Jiki. And I'm also now faced with, ouch. Maybe I should have cut down itself, but I don't think so. We're also now, this is bad. This is very bad. Because now we just have nothing going on. We can't cast anything. We really needed to draw a land in some of our first couple draws, and we didn't, sadly. I would love for our opponent to crew and attack. This way, we actually... This is very aggressive of our opponent, but that if we draw another land, we can kind of... We're okay, right? And I think our opponent maybe should have considered just drawing and getting a lot of value out of the Bankbuster instead of pressuring, maybe. Though if we don't have removal, that's a very good attack. Alright, I think what we need to do is Cruelty of Gix and we won't read ahead. We'll just maybe make our opponent discard a Titan of their own. Oh, Bloodtithe Harvester? Okay. And now what do we... Oh, a Sheoldred. Wow. Well, that's a little unfortunate. But we can get a burn down the house to kill everything. Again, a little unfortunate with how much damage we're taking and stuff, but I'm kind of okay with this. We will get something back with the Cruelty of Gix. I don't know what yet. Maybe a Titan? Oh, wow. We go to 2, everyone. Uh-oh. I kind of like... Do we just want to double Titan? Yeah, let's double Titan it up. Oh, I was a little worried for a bit, everyone. But I think we're fine now. We could potentially take it, because now if our opponent draws something for 1 mana, it could be cast, but oh. What a great Titan of Industry deck. I'm trying to think. I honestly, do you know what? I really want to cast it, but I feel like is there an exile everything spell that I'm potentially missing? Like, I know Meat Hook Massacre isn't legal, but I feel like we can lose to a board wipe, and I didn't want to. GG. Okay. Now, again, we have the problem with nothing to do on turn 2, because everything's going to enter the battlefield tapped, which isn't ideal. And also, we're just going to have to Cruelty as like a complete value thing, instead of just turn 3 or go directly to the stage 3 to reanimate, which when you're saying, oh, I have to do that, like, that's still a good thing. And that's why Cruelty of Gix is just a really, really powerful card, because it's just so great. 10 out of 10. Put in my deck all the time. Spirited Companion. Oh, I would love an untapped land, and guess what, everyone? We got it. So, Anointed Peacekeeper. Ouch. That kind of really ruins everything I'd ever want to do. Because now that costs a lot of mana. Ouch. And our cut downs don't do anything here. They can kill a Spirited Companion, but do we really want to be doing that? No blocks. Ouch, everyone. I guess I do want green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're so far away from doing anything relevant or great. An actual disaster, everyone. Anointed Peacekeeper is really, really good. Restoration of Iganjo, okay. I would love a Sheoldred. No blocks. But at least we're hitting all of our land drops in, like, a positive framework of all these events. Cut down's literally the worst card in our deck right now. So I would love to, like, never draw it again, please. Oh. You know, if we had an Infernal Grasp, right? That would have been wonderful. That would have been very lovely. Security Warden is absolutely abominable for us. I don't even know what we can do here to beat it. I guess Titan does have reach. So we can destroy and create a 4/4. So it can block at least, right? Our opponent could have tons of removal that interacts with it, but our opponent's deck is really, really good against cut down, though. Oh, at least our opponent didn't attack. So that's a little nice. The Wandering Emperor.
Feel the energy of battle,
Ouch.
then guide it like water.
Ooh, Brutal Cathar. That could have been very ugly.
Strike fast and strike hard. Show them how we greet our enemies.
I have no idea what we can get with Cruelty, though. Here, we do go down to 10 life. Burn down the house doesn't even do much. Golden. Okay. At least we get some life, some mana. We're gonna take a lot of damage from Sanctuary Warden, I think. Oh, that's so much. That's so much. That's so big. We go to 3. Opponent's at 12. So I think what we want to do here is we need to Brutal Cathar and get rid of Sanctuary Warden, I think. And then let's go directly to stage 3. And let's destroy... Or let's gain 5 life and create a 4/4. Okay. One's drawing more cards. Probably trying to find a way to kill the Sheoldred, I would assume. And I'm fine with all of this. Okay. Maybe our opponent is looking for, like, the Fateful Absence. And doesn't have a way to deal with it. Which I would love, right? Come on. We just need our opponent to die from Sheoldred. And then we can be happy. Thankfully, we were able to use our opponent's Brutal Cathar against them. That was a really, really good thing to have happened. Because we don't really have a way to deal with the Sanctuary Warden with shield counters on it. Because Burn Down the House wouldn't have gotten rid of it. We would need a Bloodtithe Harvester with a lot of blood. Or Liliana in it to be our opponent's only creature, which wasn't the case. So I feel like our opponent is really contemplating their decisions and the potential ways to win. Our opponent is at 2 life right now. And that's okay. Can't draw another card without losing. If our opponent really, really wanted to, one of the things that they could do, right, is attack with a creature and Wandering Emperor to gain more life. Obviously, it doesn't get them out of this situation, but Wandering Emperor, your own creature, to gain an extra life is like kind of like a hidden, mode of the Wandering Emperor, which is really, really cool. I have won a lot of games from people not realizing they could do that. And you've also won a lot of games from people who realize that they can Wandering Emperor their own creature, and then you killing that creature in response. And it's a really, really cool interaction. That's also why I'm not attacking with any of my creatures. Not only do we not have particularly good attacks, right? But we don't want to give our opponent a Wandering Emperor target. There. And wonderful. GG. Well, everyone, thank you for watching me play some Jund Reanimator in Standard. I love this deck a lot. It's great. It's fun. It does cool things. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of agency and a lot of cool decisions. And I just really, really enjoy it. Now, I will say there were a couple games I didn't include in the video because we lost against Mono Red kind of very, very quickly by keeping a slow hand. And that might be something to be very mindful of. That, Mono Red or the aggressive decks, if you don't do anything until turn 3, you will lose, right? And this is a side, again, I got this deck online, and there is a Parasitic Grasp and stuff to do for, best of 3. But I could imagine Parasitic Grasp coming into the main deck, maybe over a cut down or 2, just to give you more reliable removal and that life gain. One of the problems with, Cut Down is a good card, but one of the problems is a lot of the time it doesn't kill things you really, really want it to. Specifically with Kamano Faces Kakazan, or that card that puts the red saga that puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature on the second turn. A lot of the times it can make your opponent's 2/2s with haste 3/3s, and you can't cut it down, and so you just lose. So it's just something to consider, and I could imagine maybe Liliana becoming removal too, more reliable removal, even though Liliana's good with discarding Titan and stuff. There's just a couple of there's a couple of cards you can move around. Specifically with Cruelty of Gix, I don't mind having more one-offs because you can burn down the house when you need to, and it has saved me so often being able to know that on stage 2, I can get a board wipe for creatures and planeswalkers. So that would be something I would play with, and I'd recommend doing that and seeing what works for you. With all that being said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. That's a great way to help support me and the channel. You can also watch me stream live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. I do coaching at Metafy, and I also have a Discord, and I would love to see you there. All those links are in the subscription or description below. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Bye!